Hello, I'm Deborah Robinson with Old Ways Made New, and today we're talking sourdough, specifically waking up your sourdough when you're ready to use it. I'm also going to share, while I'm demonstrating how I feed my starter, I'm going to share a few little myths and do some myth busting today too. All right, y'all ready? Okay, so here it goes. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Yeah, okay. You have to have fun with this. That's my number one. Okay, don't take yourself so seriously. Sourdough can be really, really forgiving. At least that's what I found. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour off. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but there is a little bit of, it looks like a little bit of a film on the top of it. There's not much, but it's not a film. It's actually just the byproduct of fermentation, and so I'm going to pour that off there, and then I'm going to take the rest of it and I'm going to put it into my bowl. Now, some people don't worry about pouring it off. I have found that it can affect the taste just a little bit. I just like to do it. So, and I think you're going to find too, as you watch other videos and you meet other people that do sourdough, you're going to find out that everybody has their own little way of doing it, right? So, and today we're just focusing on feeding the sourdough. I'm not going into a lot of explanation or any explanation about how I started it. That's going to come in another video, actually in our membership community, where we are working on a sourdough project together. I'll talk more about that later. Okay, so I've got the starter in my bowl. Now I'm going to add a 3/4 cup of water, and that's about how much starter I had. I had about 3/4 cup of starter left over. I'm not exact. It doesn't have to be exact. You just kind of learn to get the feel as you do this. You'll kind of get the feel of, is this runnier than I want mine to be? Is it thicker? There's some ins and outs of that we go into in the membership community of the membership circle of the Old Ways Made New community. But I have added my water. Now I'm adding a cup of, this is organic all-purpose flour, okay? So we're gonna see if we can wake it up. Come on now. Actually, it takes longer than this, okay? So I'll stir it in, and I'm gonna show you something else. I'll stir it in just a bit, but now I'm gonna get into the dough. So I have clean hands, and the other thing that you can do is just use your hands. I found out that this is actually a very Italian way of working with your dough, is by using your hands, and it feels really weird, gross, kind of. But did you know that we have we call it a microbiome on our skin? We have good little bugs, we'll just say today, that we can put into the flour too. So that's all going to help speed up the process here of getting it to wake up. My ingredients are all at room temperature. That's something you probably would want to know. And I'm making sure that all the lumps are good and mixed in and dissolved, okay? And so now I have woken up I'm working on waking up the sourdough. It's going to set up overnight. I'm going to cover it up with a dish towel, and I'm going to put a plate over the top of that to kind of hold that dish towel on. You can use saran wrap if you want to. I try not to use that kind of stuff when I can keep from it. And then we'll let this sit for about 10 hours overnight, and then in the morning I'm going to check it and see how it's doing. I might even check it before I go to bed, because I could go ahead and feed it again possibly. But in the morning I will look at it and I will see that I have some little bubbles going, and I'll know that I've woken up my sourdough starter and I'm ready to use it. Okay, I want y'all to see this. I'm coming back for y'all to see the little bubbles in here. That's a good thing. So right after I ended the video, I came back and looked. I was like, wow, I want y'all to see this, because this is a really good active sourdough starter that I have. And so I wanted y'all to see that. Well, I hope you found that helpful, and that you're not so afraid to try maybe your hand at sourdough. You can start with a wild culture, what we call a wild culture, or you can buy a culture that's ready to go. Either way, it's really easy to do. And there's a few things I want you to know. You do not have to bake oodles of bread. You do not have to feed it every day. You can take it out, use it just like I'm doing this week, and then put it back in the refrigerator to rest until you're ready to wake it up and use it again. But it's a lot of fun, and especially when you're working with other people and you don't feel like you're so alone, right? So in our Old Ways Made New community, we talk about things like sourdough, or fermented products, but we also talk about natural remedies, you know, some of the old ways of doing things, but in a way that's easier to do for those of us that have other things going on in our life and on our plate. Okay, so I hope to see you there, and make sure you like and follow us and subscribe, because I have more videos coming for y'all. Okay, bye.